What you are listening to now is the Central Indiana Sports Report podcast 338.2, our rapid recap, and John Robertson and Michelle Garmon's reaction to the Indiana Fever's 93-78 win over the Chicago Sky on Sunday in Chicago. Please tune in again Wednesday for our coverage of the Fever's game at home against the Phoenix Mercury.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengelt.
Welcome, Fever fans, to the Central Indiana Sports Report and our rapid recap of the Fever's 93-78 win over the Chicago Sky. And then we will have John Robertson and Michelle Garmon on with their reaction to another Indiana victory. Before we get to all of that, a quick reminder that we do this after every Fever game. We have our rapid recap and then John and Michelle's reaction. And once a week, we have our Fever report with John and Michelle going over all of the news of the week. And right now, at this time, there is all kinds of news. We will get to John and Michelle in just a second. Before we do that, here is your rapid recap. The Fever have won back-to-back games after a 93-78 win in Chicago on Sunday. They've also won 5 of their last 7 without star Caitlin Clark. They're now above 500 on the season without their star Caitlin Clark, who, once again, sitting out with an injured groin. Kelsey Mitchell said, "Don't worry, I'll take care of everything." She scored 13 points in the first quarter. So did Chicago. She finished with a season-high 35 points, going 12 for 19 from the field. She made 7 of her 10 three-point attempts, all 4 of her free throws. She also had 6 assists and 3 steals to boot. What a game for Kelsey Mitchell, the 4th leading scorer in the WNBA. With Mitchell's performance, the Fever led pretty much start to finish, 26-13 after the first quarter, 51-39 at the half, 75-61 after 3 quarters, and the win. There were 4 Fever players in double digits. Aaliyah Boston had a huge game, 14 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. She was 5 for 9 from the field and also made all 4 of her free throws. In fact, the Fever went 16 for 16 at the foul line for the game. Off the bench, Michaela Timpson, what a performance for her. She was plus 23. She went 6 for 8. She made both of her free throws, had 4 rebounds, and finished with a season-high 14 points. And if they can get her to have those kinds of performances, the Fever might be unbeatable once Caitlin Clark returns. Chloe Bibby, playing in her first game for the Fever, went 2 for 5 from the field, made 2 of her 4 three-pointers, and finished with 8 points, another big performance. The bench finished with 29 points. Lexi Hall also contributed 7 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists, and another well-rounded performance from Lexi. Ari McDonald scored all 10 of her points in the first half and was a big reason that the Fever got off to a great start. She also had 4 assists, 3 steals, and 2 rebounds. And Sophie Cunningham finished with 5 points. Chicago was led by 26 points from Rachel Bannum, 14 from Kia Nurse, 13 from Rebecca Allen, and 12 from Camila Cordosa. Chicago, too, was playing without their star and Caitlin Clark's rival, Angel Reese. The Fever are off until Wednesday when they take on Phoenix at home at the Fieldhouse. That game can be seen on ESPN3, also on the FanDuel Sports Network, and if you're interested in listening on the radio, you're in Central Indiana, 93.5 and 107.5 WIBC carries those games. Again, that game is 7 o'clock on Wednesday. We, of course, will also have our recap and reaction after that game like every game through the end of the WNBA Finals. Please stay tuned for John and Michelle.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengel.
Welcome in John Robertson and Michelle Garmon for their reaction to another Fever win. As I mentioned in the recap, John and Michelle, back-to-back wins, 5 wins in their last 7 games. They now have a winning record without Caitlin.
Yeah, the team is looking like they're playing well. I mean, it's hard to really get a full gauge on it because it was a depleted Chicago Sky team. Chicago is mediocre anyway, but they were down a lot of people. But you're going to celebrate any win. And Kelsey Mitchell, my goodness, she just went off today. Like, that was just an exhibition from her. She was just going off, and I think it's well timed considering all the nonsense chatter that was happening last week. So having her just put a emphasis statement game together is really good to have.
And she had a good one the other night in the win over the Aces, but she was 8 for 24 from the field. This one, there was absolutely nothing Chicago could do with her.
Yeah, she left absolutely zero doubt. She was just on fire. I'll say it over and over. Like, we kind of expect good games out of Kelsey Mitchell because she just puts them together so regularly, but she's really just making a statement. I think she definitely deserves to be on one of the all WNBA teams. Whether she can I don't know if she'll crack the top, first team, but second team should be no question.
She may be the Fever. She may crack the first team because if Caitlin misses a lot of games, she doesn't have any business being on the first team.
No, she has no business on being on any of the teams right now. Kelsey Mitchell is no doubt the team MVP at this point, right?
Yeah, absolutely. She's carried this team through the non-Caitlin games. Yeah, Aaliyah's been great, and Howard's had some great games, But today was all Kelsey. But the next point to bring in is Timpson got extended minutes today, and she made the most of her extended minutes. Like, she looked strong out there today. I was really happy to see her come in. I mean, Howard was struggling. Howard had a couple of great games back to back. Howard was kind of struggling with today. It looked like her shot just wasn't there, and whatever, it happens. I don't want to rip on her. It happens. But Timpson came in and looked strong, which bodes well for the team as a whole. If Timpson starts to put together that kind of performance anytime she's hitting the floor, we've got a lot of dangerous options.
We do. It strengthens the front court depth. And I think that needs to be, because I think what worried me the most as we go down towards the playoffs and everything is the number of minutes that Boston has had to log this season. And, I want her legs to be good and fresh and everything. And even Howard, I think Howard is in a situation that she's aging, that she can have a couple of good games, but if she's played close, if she's played over 30 minutes, I don't know that how many games straight in her career that she can play over 30 minutes and give you what you need when you are down, when you're a team that's down a really good scorer anyway.
I agree with all that, and it seemed like Boston and Timpson play well together. And if you watch the post game walk off videos and stuff, it seems like Boston and Timpson have a really good relationship with each other. So that's really, really good to see. I've said all season long, one of the strongest things about this team is how much they love to play together. Just like with the Pacers, they're bigger than the sum of all their parts because of how much they love playing together.
John, I think I saw an article at the start of the season when they were talking about Timpson, or if I didn't see the article, it was on a broadcast, that they said that Aaliyah had taken Timpson under her wing, as far as doing things with her and just kind of showing her the ropes. And that doesn't surprise me because that's just Aaliyah Boston. She is, I think what people don't realize about her is just how good a leader she is. She is a good leader.
Absolutely. She's almost a quiet leader because she does it in a gentle way more than some of the other people lead with ruckus and loudness, and I don't think that's Boston, but I just now looked at the box score and I realized Damaris didn't play. Dantas didn't play at all. I didn't even realize that while watching, so I don't know what was up with that. But
that's another reason. I mean, I know they signed Bibby to a 7-day contract, and I know they have it open, but I wondered because then I saw too where Dantas did not play, and Timpson got extended minutes, so I didn't know if there was an issue, if Dantas is a little.
Maybe she just didn't feel well. Yeah, who knows? It was just shocked. It was one of those things I was looking at the thing. It just shocked me because, Dantas has been playing well, so I don't think there's any reason to really just keep her out of the game. But speaking of Bibby, how about her Fever debut, right? She comes off the bench and within a minute, she scores a 3 and then she hits another one not that long later. So starts off 2 for 2 from 3.
Well, there's no doubt she can score.
I just thought it was a good game. They let it get close a couple times. They got to start squashing those runs a little sooner, but they played really well today. I was happy with it. And again, you don't want to put too much stock in it because it's a shorthanded Chicago Sky team. But at the end of the day, a win's a win. We got to just keep stacking them.
Also a shorthanded Indiana Fever team.
Sure, but I mean, I think the Sky only had 7 or 8 players total for the day. So I mean, I don't want to poo-poo the win. Don't get it wrong. I like that we won, but it's
also very important in the standings.
It is, yeah, it's absolutely important in the standings. Being above 500.
They now got a game and a half on Golden State for the final playoff spot. Of course, they're also ahead of Vegas, but they're in a pretty comfortable position now, especially considering they've been without their top player for so many games.
Feeling really good about making the playoffs at this point, but you just want to move up and get a better seed now.
I think they're in a position to do that. I mean, I really do. I like the way this team is playing now, and if Timpson can provide front court scoring, because I think that's the key for the Fever. They need scoring off. They really need to have some scoring off their bench because I think some of their best games have been when they've had people be able to come off the bench and score.
29 points today off the bench, including Lexi's 7 points. Pretty good game for her today.
Yeah, let's talk about Lexi. I feel like she got a little bit of her confidence back. I think just as pure speculation and just body language, it looked like she just had zero confidence in her shot, and she was trying to looking to pass, not take the shot sometimes, and then when she would take it, she just wasn't feeling good about it. I think today she hit this elbow jumper, and you could just see her face light up like something fell. And then so less than a minute or two later, she hit a corner 3. So then I think she was playing pretty well today. Obviously, the defense has been there the entire time, and she hustled like crazy. She gets more offensive fouls for the Fever, or against the other teams than anybody, I think. She just gets herself in position.
Yeah.
Well, it's because she doesn't mind sacrificing her body, and she will fight over screens. I mean, she's so slender and agile that if a ball handler does not rub shoulders, she's getting through a screen, which means then the screener's going to probably do a moving screen to pick her off.
Yeah, but I mean, she's all if there's a ball up for grabs, she's going for it. Whether she has a 50% chance or less to get it, she's going. So yeah, I love the way she plays.
I do too. She just is one of those players. She's just a hustle player. If I used to give out when I coached, I used to give out a hustle award, and I will tell you, Lexi Hall would get my hustle award.
Every game. So Wednesday we got Phoenix.
And what a performance out of the gate today from Ari McDonald.
Yeah, Ari has been great. She was such a good pickup. She reminds me of Kelsey Mitchell light kind of, because she's super fast and super aggressive, and she's getting points. She's not shooting the 3 as much, but she's driving really hard to the basket. And there was a couple where she just clearly got around 2 players through the paint and just made easy layup back. So Ari's been wonderful.
On the defensive end as well, she's another one that hustles and gets on the floor for loose balls, and she's sneaky quick. She gets her hands on a lot of balls. I mean, and makes it life miserable if she's on the guarding the ball handler. She makes life miserable for the ball handler.
Wednesday, they have Phoenix at home before 4 straight games on the road. John, big game.
Yeah, I think the Phoenix game will be important. I'm curious to see the reaction to DeWanna Bonner when they announce her. We'll see how that goes. It's Sophie playing against her old team. There's a lot of storylines, but this is the one in the next few games that I think is going to be the hardest. Although I think they just lost to Washington.
9 straight winnable games coming up.
We got 9 games coming up. You definitely want to win at least 5 of them. I mean, I think they can easily pull off 5 of them. I had the schedule right in front of me, and then I lost it. But I think they could do that, and that puts them in a good position.
With 9, I'd really like to see them get 7 wins, at least no fewer than 6.
You got Phoenix twice. If you split the Phoenix series, and then Dallas, we should win. Seattle twice.
Seattle twice.
Yeah.
Chicago another time. And then Washington and Connecticut.
Yeah, I think 7 of those are doable. I think 7 out of 9 is possible.
And the more you win, the more you allow Caitlin Clark to come back whenever she feels like she's ready.
Yeah, and I also heard today that they were saying that, they're going to give her extra time to, even when she's cleared, to practice before they put her in a game situation. They want to get her back up to speed. They said they didn't do a very good job of that last time, so this time they're going to give her more practice runs before they put her in game situations, which I think is good.
Yeah, I do too, John, and more for her mental part as far as the physical, just because I think she was favoring her injury. I think it was a part of her mental. So if they get her up to speed and some really good scrimmaging, in practice, and I think that'll help her mentally with the injury as well.
I did see a take where somebody says that she's done for the season, but they don't want to announce it because they still want to sell tickets. I don't think that's true.
Possible, though.
I mean, I do think it's possible. I think it's feasible as a scenario, but I don't think it's true.
You're shutting her down for almost the end of the rest of the regulars, or almost close to it, and then having her to see, she's good, and having her for the playoffs.
I think that's probably a good way to go. It would have to be an awfully severe groin injury to miss 3 months or however long it would be. So I would imagine that she'd be back at some point. John, Michelle, thank you so much. What a busy Sunday. Appreciate your time as always. Thanks so much to John and Michelle, and to you for listening. Always appreciate it. Do us a favor and please share this podcast with the Beaver fans in your life. Help spread the word that the Central Indiana Sports Report is here and talking about Central Indiana sports every single day. Central Indiana Sports Report is brought to you by TG Media and I Love Susie.